All right, ebusiafo. Yeah, mamunyina akwaba. Kesiye eba HITV so. Sabre musumfo. His rare freshness became in emo eba betwetwe nkomo kama. Sana de bia ye no no. Joada enwumre 6 p.m. pepe. Ye da hihye so. And then minim say more USA no. You are getting ready for your Thanksgiving season. I think say me perspective in you. Every year, the month that I look forward to, Thanksgiving, every year. That is the month that I look forward to because I feel say Thanksgiving on the reason for the season on gives me a different purpose to serve in life, and to be thankful no is very, very important. So I believe says Sasuna Yemupi no Thanksgiving is very important to us all. Ebe here say we back acknowledge the fact say Thanksgiving Eba Yamibo Thursday is always the last Thursday of November. And one thing I remember to say, Tatop Sen, since I've been with Tatop Sen, director, remind me, say if my memory serves me right, over 4 or 5 years, right? Being with Tatop Sen, no. Every Thanksgiving no, both say normal yes, some small promotion be maybe akoko a channel home and I'm taking a channel home. The good thing is that this year, Thanksgiving, no, director more 100% cash back. MIA. Once last month, October, no more say Thanksgiving no or more extended no my say okay. Tinyamebo next week, director again correct me if I'm wrong. Next week, Monday, shower have on Bayer draw no for all the lucky names na PK live ewo HITV and also ubehu ewo Tatap Send Ghana Facebook and HITV as well. Into no me catcher says I'll be a cow says I won't send sika and me wahaya na last month a bimoji omo 2000 a bimoji omo 500 a bimoji omo 1000 basically 100% cashback. Okay. Eno ne twem na mesa so e de enchia kese ema o baby bia wo bia ho nchia na me de ma o emeko into no yense adaje bebre ba mesa so asra wo se safe no adwane ya na share link de ma wo busuafo no adofo no mo nyina be join teach you HRTV I mean Zoom link no sana yebetimi ama na very interactive ye ne yankasa ye de ba ko professor Pastor Professor Josiah Andor and he's been very, very prudent with HITV and always educate us and also give us nothing but good nuggets. Answer na you better ask no you better kwaji abo from krato but you better pen na fidie betie any kabo se matata send wa my na afidie ya so jumide so me ka will be say feel good services say in case you're looking for a mental health speaker and as a motivational speaker, if you're with feel good services at gmail.com or say ehun hia say ubenya adwuma pomodin nimdie na ehun hia so say ubesa so enya real estate so emfaso enti no anse na betimi apɛ bia a wode uti ebeto no or say wotrim nso so no bibia kwaso kama ewo honom sa so na be kan for feel good homes amount feel good homes say bra na afidie one any nkomo so we here apartment whether a studio 1 bedroom 2 bedrooms and now say impo say so the 3 bedrooms abeka ho for metra kwan ewo feel good homes na afidie bibia enkoso enye kama sa so na sa upe fie so ato a 4 bedroom house and I say bia person convert to the kind of 5 bedroom house feel good homes bet me aboa na afidie bibia akoso kama enti no say omo number no email you on feelgoodservices@gmail.com and also omo number no so the fidie no so no +1 513 372 5758 and also +233 208 149 504 bomodia because enchebia be in within a month they will be nyama kakra bi di akere what they got going on. Just within the next 2 weeks, you will see something very good going on their screens. And I want to say, the early bird catches the worm. Mamo bebantam no, you have some good opportunities while ebeji same rather than obeba later. So do it now or pay more later. My foot to me the no. Of course, so about more who say HITV and a smile. Not discounts be a will be an young farmer kaba. Also, awareness LSC say open family nurse practitioner bet my boy in terms of IV hydration, and also be a primary care manager. Now our boy in terms of weight management. Kese bebre e de yare ene nam na bebre we asisi ekoso no crap no mo we salad de cry yare how much more yen yare nam no into the sawo Maryland DC and Virginia me page say the DMV area now and also Ohio nkwadia and crabo say me ekoma for number 513-268-2740. Na me sa so aka biom se startup send na aso dwumede asne kese pa titru ne de ebrawo se woni startup send sabre ya na che se wa ankasa na ise wasa aka poma no wandwem no I say yes me ko bi no man ke bi wan ko krampa ke ye enti me sraw kono ko startup send download the app no wa Google Play Store na so App Store easy fast it's very convenient we have for promo code nation after was signing up no promo code ne PK P-KAY impanyefo se mensan kama monte se misika no matum into year nye $15 na benya $20 on pay we na pedian bomodia na download the app never promo code shem na mianza so me bonanza me da tato ne say so wo send sika ni we na ma me screenshot me de emo bottle ba ko be kan won just me emo bottle ba ko be kan won ama na so wetim de twa wonum spede de Thanksgiving be ana Christmas emom titu ne hia me ne say why de da fam wo busuani anas wadofo bia omonte ye no anas o mate a o maye asonde kakra wo hono no na momo enye na bibia nkoso kama yeda ma se ma yen asutre na afide yetime de nkabo se mi abram ne se nyame adom obi biara ho ye and so ahabede kama next week your topic na de bram no is about managing your finances and if it's a financial conversation how are you betimi aseti ye ne ebusuafo right na daachi bi no yamfa yensem gu yiti ne yentwa ejawadwo anase yamfa yensanhye demrefre mu entiem se mensurumo enti ye ne yenwa be ma kwame ne na pamfo be hia nyamebo next week enti no wote sa no na wo ebusuafo so deru amama ya we ma ba so ma share link ni nyina so medabase pa me hu ni nyina nyamishira mo we do not take this lightly and we are very grateful to that at this point director yema kwaba eba jumedie ni so sana da ye no na no edien and the course what startups and akache mayen good dates no ni entie
yeah PK abusan for ebecha obi via or show ni so mame 3 seconds be why what's
director me talk about
okay perfect. So PK said you already can anticipate, you know. I mean, you share a promotion, no, at also. I mean, yeah.
What's the day?
At also.
What if so kind no be my magic coy? Also incremo no, you will be says a sroto.
Okay.
And them just say no na ka opeso ka sroto babo just say ahodro bebre. Aha. And them say si hwa.
It's perfect. India was for ya share kama. In fact, and any last day, more man sending no, I think they na aso for 1.5%. I mean, we did it for inclusivity. We did it.
I was in the last day.
Yeah, then only started 1.5% in the any last day because for at least inclusivity. Said the be Canada for no or mobile machine, Italy for no countries now or mumra and allow for draws and other things and and it started from 17th to 24th. Into no baby and the ending of this month, another draw, serious one, as last month he won winning a binunya 2,000 de ben de be as a mo. Say PK Musunya Biancapo.
I'll be can be and just me home. This next week me win be into my head. What I was trade me that may win no. I bet you say.
I was about to Ubia Sunday. You will never know what will come out. Until first week of next month, yeah. I think with next week, yeah. The draw will come on into hope he said which shows be bit my winning. And one funny thing about US for him say a bit more Omunimo, Ufra Mokrano, Omunim Crasso Marine, and they even doubt it. Obi any abre person or win, Pique any abre in video or win or send on mini. I hear funny chiches cassa.
Na se sana we asete.
Don't
No
pay.
pay nya.
We don't swamp. Yes, the Pique me more time be no. I think after show ye be ye be di tap ho komo nti bibi bia question bia no Mr. Mo betima aka so no mabusa. We try to fix all issues bia nti me da se Pique.
Director, yeah, that's any one of the same. Ebusiafo, where the sekakum, yet in a kuku enum. Me and Ben Catcher say kuku no na bekasa kono, but I know na director akano, it's no, Mr. Mr. So one say here and a wati, Obias water, because if you don't know now, you know. And please take advantage of this opportunity and make extra money for yourself. Maybe point in the say, oh yeah, it doesn't hurt to do it. Until I don't know said in the sabri. Now for uncle, mom would call December, I don't know. More there was some be a mekaya munti, December rates the form, and the rates they call from your startups and the rates they call from a BOG for or more, you know. Until so best and can I send sabri. Now for the stand a chance to win it. Director saying me kind and yeah, said Sikani, we are still good to the end of November, right? 100% payback, no? Cash back, no? Director also. So, what I said, they want me to yente. Also, yeah, it's still good to the end of the month, no? Sabre, yebe, akokofa your special guest number. No, attribute kama. Topic here very simple. Or say how to create your own happiness and be content. How to create your own happiness and be content. A kwan be so ne befa na yang se ni je no get me e create ne ye wie so no ye ni be so ni ayewo. Yeah, that da sama metaka ne say I cannot make you happy. You have to be happy for me to enjoy your happiness with you. Sa na won't me ma me enjoy. Se me ma me ho ani ma me nije. Sa na wetimi ni me ache enije na me wono. Sabre no minim say henceforth the topic is going to be treated in English. For the purpose of those who do not flow or understand with the tree language, you know. So Professor Joe Andor, welcome to the show. Time without absent.
Thank you so much, my brother. I hope I can be heard.
Yes, Prof, we can hear you.
Everyone. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So I greet you all, and it's almost okay, not almost, but it's late where I am, but it's a joy to join you wherever you are. Those of you in the US, those of you in Canada, I bring you greetings from Ghana. All right. So
thank you very much.
We are discussing creating your own happiness and finding contentment. How can I create it? You know, of course, this is important because we all want to be happy. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't want to be happy. Everyone wants to be happy. And happiness and contentment are two very important aspects of life. And in this life, we all want it. Unfortunately, most of the time, people think that happiness is something that happens to us. Tonight, what I'm coming to discuss with you would actually reveal that, no, it is not something that happens to us. Rather, it is something that ideally should come from us. All right, so that is it. So I want to begin by making a few comments. One, happiness is not a circumstance. Like it's not like an event, something that happens to you. It is a practice. It is something that relates with what you do. When we talk about contentment, normally people would be content based on what they have, based on possessions. Oh, I have a car, I am content. I have a degree, I have achieved this, I am content. Contentment comes from within. It is not coming from possessions or achievements and all that. So we should note that happiness is a practice, it's something coming from you. Contentment is from you, it's coming from within. Ideally, that's where it should come from. So I would actually take you through what it means to be happy, how you can cultivate this inner, what we call inner joy and peace. And then we can also learn to overcome some barriers, because definitely sometimes I have met clients who will tell me, I am not happy. And I don't know why I am not happy. Definitely there are certain things causing the unhappiness, barriers. And then we can talk about how we can build it. So that's all what we want to talk about. To begin with, what is happiness? I mean, happiness is basically an emotional state, or if you like, a mental state. So two things. It is about how you feel. It is also about how you think. It is an emotional state. It's also a mental state. But what is in this state? It is marked by joy. Okay, I'm using another word that we will normally use to say happy. I have joy. So there is that feeling of, you being happy. That's joy. It's marked by satisfaction. You feel satisfied. You feel like where I have reached, I like it. It is marked by fulfillment. And all these are both emotional and mental. So happiness is a state in which you have the joy, you have a sense of fulfillment, you have a sense of satisfaction. That is happiness. But how is it looked at? There are actually two ways of looking at it. Now, I need you to understand this before we can proceed. We have the hedonic happiness. When we talk about hedonism, we are talking about pleasure, like something that makes you, it gives you pleasure. So you win the draw from tap tap cent. That is something that gives you pleasure. Okay, I'm using that because I know anybody who gets it becomes happy. Those who lose become unhappy. All right. So it is a form of pleasure. You get food that you like, or you get something that you enjoy. You feel comfortable. You are enjoying what it is. That is hedonic happiness. That happiness is based on something that you can see and touch. Well, not necessarily touch, but it is something outside of you. But we have the eudaimonic. The eudaimonic happiness has to do with the type that comes from within. You finding a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, a sense of inner growth makes you happy. That one is eudaimonic. So we have the hedonic happiness, we have the eudaimonic happiness. Now, these two forms would normally overlap. So when somebody is happy or somebody is expressing happiness, it's coming from one of these two. It's either because the person is experiencing some pleasure, the person has some comfortable situation, you bought a car, you do this, you are enjoying, you've gone for a party, and you are enjoying the party and all that. That one gives you hedonic happiness. But maybe it is not about a party, it's not about enjoying some pleasure, it's not about some comfortable situation, but it is about that sense of meaning, that inner joy that you have within you, that sense of purpose, that is eudaimonic happiness. And we need to have both. If your happiness is only hedonic, then you actually will be depending on other people to be happy, because it is other things, other people that, or you would actually have to struggle to get something pleasurable to make you happy. So we have that explanation of happiness. But if you have the eudaimonic, even when you are not getting the external stuff, you can be happy, because that one is from within. So if we are talking about happiness, we are saying you find yourself within a certain mental or emotional state in which you feel a sense of joy, you feel a sense of satisfaction, you feel a sense of fulfillment, and that is likely to come from either the hedonic or the eudaimonic. I believe this is clear. Now, let me move to another concept that I will need you to understand. I am very abstract at this point, because if we will need to understand the concept before I start putting in the practical things. The formula that most sociologists and psychologists will give you for happiness is that happiness is equal to G plus S divided by R. Let me explain. This is mathematics. Okay, G is gratitude. S is satisfaction. So H is equal to G plus S, gratitude plus satisfaction, all divided by resistance, R. Now, when we talk about gratitude, we are talking about you focusing on what is good. We are talking about you being appreciative, you showing gratitude for what you have. I am appreciating the fact that I have a family. I am appreciating the fact that I have a degree. I'm appreciating the fact that I have received this money. That is gratitude. Then satisfaction is appreciating what you have and who you are becoming. So that one is within you. You feel satisfied. I have this. I am this. And I feel satisfied about it. So gratitude and satisfaction, these two are put together. And what actually it divides against is resistance. Now, resistance are the things that actually have to stop you from being happy. Okay, so that is normal in life. Those things are part of life. So how do we measure your happiness? If your happiness is made up of only gratitude and satisfaction, then it means that your happiness is up there. But if the figure for resistance is high, then it means your happiness is reducing. What are these things? Stress can reduce your happiness level. Negativity can reduce your happiness level. Comparison can reduce your happiness level. Inner conflict, pain, jealousy, these are things that bring resistance. These are things that make you feel like I don't have to be happy. Remember, you have gratitude already, you have satisfaction. So if you need to increase your happiness, then you should increase your gratitude and your satisfaction, and then you should reduce the resistance. That's the formula. So happiness, H, is equal to G plus S divided by R. Take note of that. In order to increase your happiness, you should make sure there is more gratitude, there is more satisfaction, and there is less resistance. So the resistance has to do with the things that reduce that element of happiness in your life. So you make sure you reduce the stress. What are the things that will reduce the stress? You make sure you reduce the negativity. You make sure you reduce the rate at which you compare with another person. Oh, I have a car, but he has a more beautiful car. That comparison will reduce your happiness. But if your satisfaction with your car is high, and your comparison with others is low, then you are happier than somebody whose comparison is higher than the person's satisfaction or the person's gratitude. So that is it about happiness. Now that I have given you these theories, let's get practical. If we want to create our own happiness, remember the topic is how to create your own happiness and be content. Now, the two move hand in hand because contentment, like I have told you, is actually from within. And that within is linked with the happiness that we said has to do with how your state. Okay. So if you want to do it, one of the things is to make sure you cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Remember, we need to increase gratitude, increase satisfaction, and reduce resistance. So that is exactly what I'm doing to you tonight. 3 things: increase gratitude, increase satisfaction, and reduce resistance. Then you become happy. You become content. That's all we are doing. So how do I increase gratitude? Ideally, we should be generally grateful. We should generally show appreciation for the things around us. But it is not that easy. So let's get practical. It may become possible to keep what we call a gratitude journal. Now, when I talk about a gratitude journal, I am talking about something that you have that you write in things that you are grateful for. Maybe on a daily basis, a daily gratitude journal. So how do you do it? Today, I was able to wake up. That's gratitude. It is not automatic that you should wake up, but you are able to wake up. That's gratitude. Today, I was able to do this. I was able to do that. And you can literally count several things around you that you can be grateful for. You can decide that I want to make this better. Share, maybe you have a list, maybe 3 things I am thankful for today. 3 things that I am thankful for today. Today, I was able to make a sale at work. Today, I was able to call so and so person. Today, I managed to hook up with an old friend, and I am thankful for that. You can decide to share these things with somebody. Maybe pick somebody, or you can even do it in the journal I talked about. What 3 things do I want to thank? Do I want to be thankful? I don't want to make it a religious lecture, but most of the time, if you are religious, then you are thanking God for these 3 things. And then you should try to do reflective thinking, intentional reflection on little things that you are joyful about, little things that you are happy about. And that one is you reflecting on these things. Now, the more you do these things, the higher your gratitude level. You will get to know that, oh, I have so many things around me that I should be grateful for. It is like this old Christian hymn that is sung. Count your blessings and name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Most of the time, there are a lot of blessings around us, a lot of things around us. Unfortunately, we do not get the time to count them because the things that are around us may overwhelm. In fact, the stresses may be louder than the blessings. And so you tend to focus more on the stresses than the blessings. But if you make it an intentional act, you'll be able to cultivate that attitude of gratitude. A journal, a thank you, a list of 3 things I'm thankful for. Intentionally reflecting on your little things that make you happy. You can also decide to intentionally be the type of person who says thank you. Thank you to people who do things for you. You got a bus and the driver has dropped you safely. Just say thank you to the person. You know, these things would actually make you a grateful person generally, and that would naturally increase your happiness quotient. Remember, the happiness formula is gratitude plus satisfaction divided by resistance. How can we increase the satisfaction? That one can be increased from within. You will realize that the gratitude, most of the things in gratitude have to do with the externals, the hedonic happiness elements. The satisfaction normally comes from within. And that one will begin from you identifying yourself. Who am I? What are my core values? What are my passions? What are my strengths? What goals do I have to achieve? What do I find fulfillment in doing? What do I enjoy doing? All right. Now, when you have found these things, then you look around you and then you ask yourself, if the things around me actually reflect my core values, my passions, and the things that make me find fulfillment, that is it. If you are able to grasp that, you will naturally find meaning and purpose in life, and that will give you enough satisfaction. So this one is done in introspection. So introspection, self-reflection. Who am I? What exactly do I stand for in life? What are my core values? And by the way, everybody has core values. Unfortunately, we are unable to identify these core values. But you begin by asking yourself, what are my core values? What are the things that I really cherish? What are my passions? What are my strengths? What do I enjoy doing? What is even my goal? Where do I want to get to? What are the things that matter to me? When you have asked yourself these questions and you have had the answers, you will then be able to do things that reflect these core values, these passions, these things that matter to you. And once you find yourself doing them, you find fulfillment, and that fulfillment gives you a sense of satisfaction. You feel satisfied. You feel a sense of peace, a sense of, like comfort. It is deep, deep, deep within you. You are happy that you are doing this, full stop. And that is actually going to increase your happiness quotient. Remember, we said it is more satisfaction, more gratitude, and less resistance. That is happiness. So I have given you some tips on how to increase your gratitude. I've given you, a formula on how you can improve your sense of satisfaction. But we will need to also reduce resistance. Remember, we said resistance has to do with the things that are likely to reduce your happiness. And they include things like stress, negativity, comparison, inner conflict, pain, sickness, poverty. These things, these are the things. So you try to reduce them as much as possible. So one of them that most psychologists would recommend is what we call mindfulness. Mindfulness is another word for it is meditation. Meditation. You trying to calm down. That's the point. You are trying to calm down. And one way to do it is through meditation. If you are religious, then the best is prayer. That is something that happens prayer, you are taking away all the stress and giving it to a divine being. You are saying, God, I cannot bear this alone. I am pushing it all to you. And because you are doing it with faith, somehow that burden gets lifted from you. And that is meditation, quiet reflection. Those who are not religious, they do this in the form of, yes, you are not transferring it through prayer to a supreme being, but you are doing some kind of personal meditation. And this personal meditation can sometimes be in the form of, there are people who practice yoga. There are people who would actually spend time and just imagine themselves by some river, in a garden, that kind of thing. It relaxes you. And so you can do that. Of course, another one that you can do is to physically go to that river bank, that riverside, that waterside. Physically go to that garden. Sometimes the smell of some flowers in that garden can relax you. The view of the water, the view of the flowers, these things can actually literally just calm you down. These practices reduce stress. They reduce negativity. They make you, they reduce the resistance level in your life. They promote happiness. And deep breathing exercises. Now, this is something I would recommend for everybody. In the morning, when the air is fresh, in the evening, when all the pollutions are going away, just do breathe in, out, breathe in, out. They relax you. These are mindfulness practices that can help you to reduce the resistance to happiness. And then another aspect is self-care. Taking good care of yourself. Now, a lot of us are allowing so many things to stop us from taking good care of ourselves. And when I talk about self-care, I always talk about your eating habits, nutrition. What do you eat? Make sure you eat well. Don't eat junk. Sometimes what you put in there can affect your mood. A number of nutritionists have made a case for that. The kind of food you eat can actually create a certain mood for you. And when you eat well, you eat more greens, more fruits, more vegetables, it improves your mood. For example, I once read that banana is actually a happiness fruit. When you feel stressed out, eat 2 fingers of banana and it automatically improves your mood. I am yet to really experiment it, but I believe that fruits, veggies, eating well can help you. Apart from eating well, another thing is exercise, regular exercise. Now, all these are in self-care. And when you take good care of yourself, you reduce the resistance, the negativity, the stress, and all that. You reduce them in your life. Self-care is important. So nutrition, exercise, drinking a lot of water. Water, very, very important. Getting enough sunlight. I'm sorry that those of you who are in the diaspora, you may not get enough, especially during this season. But very soon you will get your summer, and make sure you enjoy enough sunlight. It is important. It is going to help you. And of course, you are getting good air to breathe. I've talked about breathing in exercises and breathing and breathe out exercises. And then rest, that's also very, very important. It is something that we always violate. And when we are violating rest, we are doing it because we are chasing for the hedonic happiness. We are looking for the money. We are looking for the promotion so that we will be happy. But, when you increase that one, and it is such that your resistance levels are high, it doesn't really promote happiness. So you see, you get all the money, but you are still not happy. That is because you are not taking good care of yourself to be able to enjoy what you are getting. And so, yes, we need to get all that. That is important. But aside that, we also need to reduce the resistance, and we need to rest enough. Good sleep. Make sure you maintain a healthy sleep habit. I know it is difficult to get 8 hours, even though that's the ideal. I am a culprit. Sometimes I struggle to be able to get even 7 hours, but I try to make sure I do it. And when I have worked myself out for some time, I also try to make time to, to get it, to make up for the sleep that I lost. It is very, very important. And of course, we should also make sure we protect our emotional boundaries. That's also part of self-care. And this is in relationship. Make sure you are good and all that. So and one way to do that is to make sure you create better relationships around you, religious relationships, social relationships, and all that. It takes good care of you. So at the end of the day, you are able to increase your happiness level, your posture. You become a more calm person. You become somebody who posture promotes wellness, and for that reason, the resistance level becomes lower. So when you do this, you are actually creating your own happiness. Remember, I said it means you are increasing your gratitude, increasing your satisfaction, and reducing your resistance. Now, other things that I want to mention before I struggle to end and then we do questions is this. Relationship with people is important. Remember, the last part I mentioned under self-care was you should make sure you protect your emotional boundaries. And that is found in the kind of relationship that you build. If you and the people around you are keeping to positive vibe, the relationship is cool. It's not like people are using you or you are using people, and all that. And you have genuine concern for people have genuine concern for you. It automatically increases your happiness level. Now, this is biblical. The Bible says that it is not good for the man to be alone. And that is actually something that is practical in life. No man is an island. We need each other. And so build positive relationships, people that you can be closely connected. When you find yourself in deep waters, people that you can reach out to, people that check up with you regularly, you also check up with them regularly. And of course, people that you can express your appreciation and your affection for. If you are married, that person is your spouse. If you are not married, any significant other person in your life, these are the people. And of course, it's about also improving communication with the people around you. When you surround yourself with people who uplift you, not people who drain you, you tend to become a better person, and you tend to promote your own happiness. And you will be able to do this if you overcome what I'll call the obstacles or the resistances. I've mentioned stress. I've mentioned negativity. And these are the common obstacles. I've mentioned comparison. Other things, fear, insecurity, anxiety, so many other things can be obstacles to your happiness. How can you overcome them? Try to rise above them, especially negativity. Every time you are trying to think negative, reframe the thoughts into something more realistic, something more positive. Some people can be extremely optimistic. It helps in happiness, but sometimes you need to be very real. But some too can be overly negative, and that one too has sides. The best is to be at a level where you are not too optimistic and you are also not a negative thinking person. So make sure you reduce negative thinking patterns. Again, focus on your own journey instead of comparing with others and having unrealistic expectations. This is very, very important. It is important because, like I said at the beginning, happiness is not something that, it is just there. No, it is a journey. So focus on yourself. Use your own self as the standard. And yes, it is good to seek support when there is a need, when you find yourself always feeling insecure, feeling anxious. Seek help from a professional. That is important. However, generally speaking, make sure you rise above these obstacles. Make sure you focus on your journey. Don't look at others, because life is not a competition. Yes, that is your classmate who is driving that car. And so what? Yes, it is your classmate who is married. And so what? Yes, it is your classmate who has gone ahead of you in education. And so what? What exactly are you journeying on? Let it be focused on just you. If anything at all, you should be picking lessons from those people. How did they make it? Is it possible that I can make it? Yes, then you work towards it. But if you allow it to give you a sense of insecurity, a sense of anxiety, then you are actually creating your own unhappiness. But remember, we are talking about how you can create your own happiness. So don't be negative, rather be positive, so that you can reduce the resistance, increase the gratitude and the satisfaction. And then you realize that you make it. Let me tell a story. Well, I don't know whether to call it a story, but there is this popular illustration of the Chinese bamboo tree. I am sure you might have heard about it. I am concluding with this to make a point. This is what happens. Two farmers, one planted a bamboo tree, the Chinese bamboo tree. The other planted other plants, name it, mango, maize, whatever. And you know these plants. Maize, within a week, it will sprout. If it is a mango, within 2 weeks, it will sprout. Or whatever plant it is, it will sprout within a very short time. And when it sprouts, it continues to grow, and before long, the farmer is harvesting. But the farmer on the other side, who planted a Chinese bamboo tree, after 1 week, when the mango, the maize, all those things were sprouting and were growing, he was still watering the ground in which he planted the bamboo tree. And there was no sign of anything. After 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, still nothing came out. And this man continued watering that spot. 2 years came. The one in the other plantation had gone for harvest 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Nothing had happened to this guy in the Chinese bamboo tree farm. It continued for 5 years. And after 5 years, it sprouted. Remember, the man has been watering the spot for 5 years continuously without a sign. But he kept on watering the site. And then, after sprouting, within 5 weeks, it has gone so long. It's a bamboo tree. The number of feet that it grew was so high, and it continued to grow high and high and high. And no matter how tall it grew, it did not fall from the wind or from any storm. Why? Because for 5 years, the Chinese bamboo tree was growing roots downwards. And so the farmer who was watering it was actually watering it to grow roots downwards. And when it finally sprouted, it went at a very fast speed. If you are with somebody and the person is bearing fruits, remember you are a bamboo tree. Your purpose is different. So when you begin comparing, you will be making the mistake of making yourself unhappy. You'll be increasing the resistance to happiness and reducing the sense of satisfaction. That is why in the discussion, I told you one way to be able to increase your sense of satisfaction is to identify yourself. Who am I? What's my purpose? What are my core values? What am I for? When you identify that, You do not care what somebody else is doing. You are on your journey. And as you make the daily choices, you are promoting happiness and you continue to do it. The power to your happiness actually is in your hand. And if you begin by doing it gradually, like I said, increase your gratitude, increase your satisfaction, reduce the resistance, you will find yourself eventually becoming a generally happy person. Like I said, happiness is not a destination. It's not somewhere that you have reached. It is always a lifestyle. It's a journey. And you go through this journey through your daily choices. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You just have to choose to strategize on increasing your gratitude, increasing your sense of satisfaction, and reducing your resistance. And once you do that, I believe you can build your own happiness. And that will give you a sense of contentment. And when we are happy this December, you will be happy as well. And so I wish you all a happy evening, a happy December, because we are moving towards December. And I believe that you will be like the Chinese bamboo tree that takes its time to bear roots, and then it will grow tall when the time comes. Thank you very much and good evening.
Wow, Prof. You've said it all. You have said it all. I think, sir, I cannot come behind you and say it any better. This is something that I can. Wow, that's awesome. Bushafa, at this point, we will allow all your questions to come so that we can basically have Prof answer it for you. We have about 30 minutes to wrap up today's show. Today's show is going to be a very quick one, but we're not going to leave without you asking your questions as well. I have a couple questions for you, some personally on my phone from those who do not want to be mentioned, and also we have some message over here from Simeon. Simeon asked multiple questions, so let me see how to break it down. The first one says, can we develop chronic unhappiness? Can we answer that one first, and we go to the next one?
So sorry, I muted myself. Yeah. So yes, some people have actually become chronically unhappy, and it works through the things that we mentioned. The more you increase the resistance, you naturally become, I don't want to use naturally, but yes, you eventually become an unhappy person generally. So yes, you can develop chronic unhappiness because you are not grateful for the things around you. You don't feel satisfied, and that keeps you more stressed all the time. So eventually you become an unhappy person generally. So yes, people can actually be diagnosed for chronic unhappiness.
And does it come with like age? Because you know how there's a saying that people obviously like, oh, old and grumpy. Like sometimes people are like, oh, I'm getting old, so now I'm very grumpy in the morning. I'm not a morning person. Does it come with age, or is just something that we just allow?
All right. So I don't think it's biological. It is actually informed by what is around us. So this is what happens. When I am young, I don't have a care. I mean, all I know is that food is ready.
There's no bills.
Exactly. All I know is that food is ready. But when I become old, in fact, as I grow and I start picking up responsibilities, then the stress levels will begin to increase. So that's the point. So the issue is that's why I give the formula, and you realize I was taking my time doing the formula, because if you miss it, you are going to miss what I try to say. If the elements of resistance are many, then your happiness also becomes higher. Your unhappiness level becomes higher. So the more I grow, so say, oh, I am 40 and I still do not have a piece of land, or I am 30 and I am still not married. Things like that. You begin to, worry. You begin to compare more and all that, and that is what really happens. So it is not biological, as in, oh, when you grow, then it comes. It is rather social in terms of the things around us. They are the ones that will make people become grumpy as they grow.
Okay. This second question, you actually did hit on that a little bit, but I will still ask so that we can delve deeper into it. How does belief contribute to our happiness? I think it's in line with the faith and
With the
religion.
faith, exactly. So what things that you believe? But of course, I don't know if he's asking it within the context of faith or not, because things that I
Let's
believe.
just take it face value in terms of just
All right.
belief.
So I believe that whatever I am going through, God says, I am with you through it. All right. Now, that feeling, that sense of God is with me even in the darkness, will give me a sense of security. It gives me a feeling of satisfaction that, okay, there is a supreme person with me. I normally use a child. When you send a child to a dark room, the child will say, I am afraid, I will not go. Now, send that same child to the dark room and be there with that child. There's no light yet, but the fact that the child knows that you are there is enough to make the child calm. And that is life for you, even for you as a person. Simply knowing that God is with you. So if you're a Christian, there is this motif in Christianity. Even though I go through the valley of the shadow of death. Now, I tell people that one doesn't mean that nothing will happen to you if you're a believer. If you're a believer, you will still go through the shadow of death. But David says that even when I go through it, you are with me. And that sense of God is with me, which is based on faith, is a belief. That one gives you that sense of satisfaction, that sense of security, and it reduces the resistance to happiness. It increases your sense of satisfaction, and so you become happy. Yes, so belief actually contributes. And if your belief is there on the other side, the moment there is a pain in your leg, it is because of witches that are doing you. That pain in your leg will increase your stress levels to the point that it makes you grumpy, it makes you unhappy. So your beliefs actually shape your happiness or otherwise. It's very, very true. Thank you.
Okay. Now, the third question is, how can we block external contributions to unhappiness?
All right. I like this question because that is more like the crux of what we are saying, that there are elements of external contribution. No two ways about that. I mean, when your husband or your wife calls to tell you that I love you, it makes you happy. In the same vein, when the other person, your husband or your wife or any other person, calls to tell you that, I'm sorry, but I can't give you what you asked for or whatever, that can contribute to your happiness or otherwise. So yes, one way or another, we cannot block external contributions, but we can mitigate it. We can reduce the extent to which it happens to us. And one way is to not depend on the hedonic alone. When your happiness is dependent on those things alone, then the moment those things are out of your life, the ones that are under the control of external persons, then you become unhappy, whole and whole and whole. But if your happiness, your sense of joy is not in only those things, there is a balance between the hedonic and then the hedonist. You are able to, as it were, to find yourself balancing, because you still feel a sense of gratitude. You still feel a sense of satisfaction, even though some things are not working well and some people are hurting you here and there. And of course, the other side is to refocus. So the external is important. The external is part of your life, but why don't you refocus? So I talked about focusing on the little things that you ordinarily may not look at. You may not be looking at, the fact that you woke up. You may not be looking at the fact that you went and then you were able to come back. You may not even be looking at, even the way you look and all that. The fact that you have a job, the fact that you are in good health and all that, you may not be looking at them. But when you refocus and you practice a lot of positive meditation, you are likely to shift more attention away from the externals. But you can't block it completely. That I don't think it is blockable unless you live in an island. Otherwise, you can only mitigate it. Thank you.
Okay. So before we go to the last question over here, producer, do you mind if you just unmute everyone in case those of you who wants to speak? You can also put your emoji hands up. That way we can call you for you to also, that way we can have a queue for the conversation. Nana Kuma, I will call you very soon after this last question. The last question is, what does it mean to be medically happy? Then after that, Nana Kuma will be the first person.
Okay, so medically happy, I want to believe that the person is talking about when you are in good health and you are simply happy that you are in good health. I don't know if that's what he means, but the other side is people, maybe that's what he's talking about, which is an advanced aspect where people actually may find themselves in a condition where they are unhappy. Okay, it's a mental health situation. Okay, I mean, people who run into depression, severe anxiety issues.
He comes back to say drug induced.
Oh, okay. Well, that is actually based on hedonic happiness. I take a drug to improve my mood. The moment that the effects of the drug go away, my happiness is gone. I mean, unfortunately, that cannot fall under the kind of happiness we are looking for. And I would not recommend anybody goes for that.
Okay. iPhone says, how do we use money to meet needs, pursue passions without it controlling us?
All right. Okay. Money actually helps to meet needs. Money helps to pursue our passions, but we don't have to allow it to control us. So the question is how? I believe in if we don't want it to control us, then let's do budgeting, let's do prioritizing. Okay, so when I talk about budgeting, you are talking about meeting needs, you are talking about pursuing passions. So it means that you know what it is that you want to do. So I want to pursue an education. I want to buy a house. I want to do this. That is my need. That is the passion I want to pursue. That's what I want to use money to do. So if that is what I want to do, then when I get the money, because I have a target, I prioritize. Because the moment you get money, that money would begin telling you what to use it for. And before you realize, you would be doing what you didn't intend to do. All right. But when you prioritize and you budget, you put it down. I am buying this at this point. I am saving this amount and all that. I think you'll be able to help yourself not to allow money to control you. And of course, you don't allow ability to get the money or otherwise to impact your happiness. Even though it does. I mean, everybody is happy when he or she gets money. I get happy when I get money, but I don't allow that one to control my sense of happiness. So you should widen your net, your happiness nets, so that it doesn't depend on just money. If your happiness net depends on just money, it becomes a problem for you. Because once you don't have it, you are unhappy. Once it comes, you are the happiest man alive. And that is hedonic, which you don't want to focus. You don't want your happiness to be based on only that one. Thank you.
Okay. Nana Kuma, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from and your question.
Okay. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Please, God bless you all so much. Pastor,
God bless
please,
you too.
Pastor, please, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Please, I need some advice for a friend of mine who is let me put it as she's going through a challenge, and I mean, she's in her 40s, 43 to be precise. And she God has blessed her. She's well educated, highly educated, has a good job. I mean, I know she has some money, she's doing well, but she's the most depressed person I can think of, like super depressed. And the reason being because she's not married and she doesn't have kids. And I mean, she's praying, she's changing from one one church to another one. I mean, with all due respect, one man of God to another. And she has gotten to the point of attributing or apportioning blames. Oh, me nana be there, yeah, me like that kind of thing, witches and wizards, and and that because she doesn't have those things, she doesn't have a husband, she doesn't have kids, she doesn't even realize the things she has. But I ask myself, how do I counsel her? Because it's like she has gotten to that point. Her mindset is, if she doesn't get those two things, I don't know, maybe she'll even commit suicide. But I feel like, you have this, you have that, you have adopted children, you are like she's doing so much, but she feels like as long as she doesn't have those two things, she's not fulfilled. So how do I counsel her? And to
Well,
also delete that mindset of I mean, I believe in spiritual side. Please don't get me wrong. I believe evil forces, but she's a child of God. So how do I get it out of her mind that I mean, I believe in God's own time, because it's so much in her and she's so unhappy and it's bad.
all right, thank you so much. I think her case will need deeper assessment and all that. But let me tell you how you should deal with her, at least on the surface level, a form of first aid for her. Don't um, make her feel like she's not thinking right. I mean, in other words, try to validate her feelings. Her feelings are genuine. Maybe in fact, she may end up saying that it's because it is not you. That is why you think that what I am feeling or what I'm saying is not important. Don't give her the chance to look at it that way. Let her know that, yes, you may not be in her shoes, but you are trying to understand her. All right. And in your attempt to understand her, you understand that, yes, it may not feel too good to not have a partner. It may not feel too good to be 43 and still not have a husband and all that. And so, yes, don't make her feel like you are invalidating her feelings. That's one way you should relate with her. The other thing that you may want to draw her mind to is that one possible reason for which she doesn't have a husband or she's not getting what she wants is a sense of ingratitude. Now, that thing can actually make you less attractive to people. A lot of people fail to understand that. When you are grumpy, you are not naturally happy and all that, you don't relate with people well. It makes you unattractive to other people. And so the focus should rather shift to what she has rather than what she does not have. Okay, so
So basically, looking at the glass half full instead of half empty.
Half full
Wow,
instead of half
wow,
empty. Thank you.
wow.
That's the way. So shift attention. So it's about shifting attention. Then she will become content with what she has. Now, that sense of contentment is likely, all right. I'm not making it look like a drug prescription, but what it will do is that it is likely to make her more attractive and open her up for, for suitors, for more meaningful relationships. For all you know, yes, she's been in relationships and the men will come and go and nobody knows why they are going. One of the possible reasons is how she relates with them. And this relation with them will be coming from that sense of, a contentment she's not having, it can affect her relationship. So it's something that I think you want to draw her mind to. Like I said, the case may need, a deeper assessment, but for your first aid practice, this is what I think I'll ask you to do to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. God
But
bless
if
you.
she's willing, she should seek counseling, and that would be very helpful.
And you are always available, right?
I am available.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll make sure we get your contact information as usual and put it in the chat so that Nana Kuma can pick that up and send a message through. All right. If anyone else is available to speak, please. Betha. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't say Betha. Please unmute yourself and tell us where you're calling from. I think Betha is Ata, if I'm not mistaken. Is her name Betha or Martha? I think hers is Betha. Betha, please unmute yourself. If it's not letting her unmute, did she put her hands up? Okay.
Well, I am sorry. I'm just gonna lower my hands for now. Yes,
Okay.
it's very noisy. Yeah, yeah, too much noise. Maybe later. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Any other question? If you have any question, please unmute yourself. Tell us where you're calling from. Simeon says, thanks, Prof. Very eloquent. Yes, as always. Never disappoint. If we do not have any more questions, I would just say, Prof, can you just, wrap it up for us? And also, if you don't mind, typing your contact information in the chat room so that people can reach out to you, as well as your company's name, your counseling firm's name, so that people can reach out to you. Then, whilst we wait for Prof to sum up everything for us, again, if you still have a question that you want to ask, please unmute yourself and you can ask that. Prof.
Yeah.
Oh, type it. Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to type something in the chat.
no problem.
But yes, so this is what we have been saying. So I've put in the chat my phone, Facebook, YouTube, IG, and X. You can reach me in any of these and I'll be available. Yes, this is what we have been saying. Happiness is something that we all crave for, we all want. But generally speaking, we can create it for ourselves if we understand how it works. And I have explained to you how it works. Gratitude and satisfaction divided by resistance. And so you can actually become happy, create happiness by increasing gratitude. And so you just have to look for the good things around you and be grateful for them. And then satisfaction, the good things within you and feeling a sense of satisfaction, that kind of, and all these are from within. Once you have that and you reduce the things that bring resistance, negativism, comparison, stress, and all that, these would actually affect your happiness. So when you reduce them and you increase the gratitude and satisfaction, you are likely to get the highest form of happiness. And that is what I am promoting that we all do. As a Christian, I would say one way it works so well is to, especially when it comes to reducing the resistance, is to put your trust in God and allowing Him to handle your cares. You know, Christians who say, yeah, man, Jesus has said that bring all your cares, cast all your cares upon me. All the things that make you unhappy, bring them to me because I care for you. And once we are able to do that, I believe we will be happy. And I don't think anybody should actually become unhappy generally. We need to be able to become happy. And I'm sure we will become better in the things that we do. Thank you very much.
Well, before we leave, there's one more question, but I want to say that, producer, do you mind if you also put on the HITV link? Director Danny and A-Class, can you put in the Friends of Tatapson link, because it's very helpful. We communicate over there and also discuss topics that we want to treat over here as well. So please, Dr. Josiah B. Andor. The company name is PARAKLET Lab and Life Consultancy. The phone number is +233 208 905 912. Or you can contact him on Facebook. Dr. Josiah B. Andor, and he's also on IG as well as an X as Pastor Joe 4. Okay, thank you very much, A-Class. Thank you, Nana Lord, for putting the link. So the first link is the HITV link, where we discuss topics that we want to see on the platform. And the second link is the one from A-Class, is the Friends of Tatapsen, where we are all part of it to discuss anything, any issues, any concerns, any good news, and any stuff that has to do with Tatapsen. And if you want to be the first to hear any good news that comes from Tatapsen, that platform will be where we discuss other stuff, and you'll be the first to be notified as well, aside the Facebook page. But also remind you that if you want us to be part of our HIT family to help us to brainstorm topics that we want to treat here, HITV, the one from HITV will be where to join. I urge you all to join both platforms and also learn as well from there. Before Gloria, I see your message, so I'm gonna ask you that. Oh, is this session be available for? Oh yes, definitely. We are live on Tatapsen Facebook, and we're also live on HITV on YouTube. So, and I always put a copy of this session as well on our HITV room, and I know Dr. A-Class also dropped it as well. Last question, and I promise last question before we leave. This is from Simeon. How do you cope with external unhappy forces that you cannot eliminate?
Okay, how do you cope with them? Accept them as part of it. Accept them, because normally what makes it difficult to live with something is when you are hoping that it will go. So let me explain. If you are carrying a load and you know that when you get to the next stop, you are going to drop the load, you live with a sense of expectancy. You just can't wait to get to that next stop and drop that load. And when you get to that next stop and that load does not drop, or you're unable to drop that load, you become frustrated. But look at it this way. What if you are told that this load, you are going to carry it for the rest of the journey? You are not dropping it along the way. That is you telling yourself, and it is here, accepting that this load is part of my journey, and I am going to continue carrying that load. It doesn't make the load lighter, but it makes the carrying of the load more acceptable to you. So if there are forces that actually bring unhappiness, and they are actually a part of you, for example, you have a chronic illness, you are not getting medication for it. Unfortunately, it has become a part of you. But you keep on focusing on the sickness, and it is making you more and more and more unhappy. Rather accept that, well, this sickness is part of me. If I live this type of lifestyle, I can be able to move with it. And that is it. You will still be happier than the people who are not even sick, and you are okay, you are good to go. So acceptance is the way to go. Acceptance, not tolerance. What I explained by you thinking that you drop it along the line is tolerant. Like, I'm tolerating it. Okay, this one is just for a short time, I'll drop it soon. No, tell yourself that this one, I can't eliminate it. It is a part of me. It has become, your bills, your responsibility, these are all elements of unhappiness. Nobody is happy to be paying bills, but they are part of you. You accept them, And once you accept them, they no longer stress you out. They become things that you are able to live with, and you are still happy, and you move on. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So the questions that I had on my phone, I just got messages that do not ask them. They got your number. They will call you and they will personally, talk to you about it. So that's why I was laughing. I was like, you know what? Or didn't number, but do not ask the question anymore. But director, please, can you sign out, Prof. Andor for us? Thank you very much, Prof. You have really man, it's always a blessing to have you, man. I can talk to you for 7 hours no stop, and you know how it goes. Like, I'm glad that the same person that I've known since 2004 is still the same up and running, strong, energetic, vibrant person from your days of even your undergrad to where you are right now. I am proud of who you are and how much you impact into the society. Thank you very much, director. If Director Danny is not available, can Director A class sign you out for us?
All right. Ebusan for Edam say, Professor Yami Inshop for the good work you've been doing for God and country. We from Tata Cent and all the customers are so grateful. So grateful. Was never be saying no, can give you a consultation fee, but always avail yourself for you to be used by the instrument of God. Yami Inshop happiness. I mean, insurance. So, for what the answer mentally, no, over money, aje, now also adding at all. See, that's it.
In class, I was thinking, say, Prof.
Yeah,
I was thinking, say, this topic would have been perfect for next week, pa. So next week, say,
why next week, PK?
So next week, yeah, we know, your bonanza, we know.
Draw, no.
Aha. Because if you take a topic where would have been perfect to just because me next week
console people out.
Aha, me next week because last but be soon
so you started preparing yourself for
my psyche imaginated. I mean last but we psyche imaginated and I'm paying it's a surprise mommy actually rather.
Okay, so my mama can be your problem before of the corner. I said, nah, Obi Buzam said, na Timbo Kruma, a friend in Liverpool, nah. But they found a bus in the northern forest stuck in there.
You the Liverpool fan? Okay. As I said, they asked na yen yet, so into the Okasa. Emmanuel losing. Me, I was born Arsenal. So what are you talking about?
You are born Arsenal and deflected.
I did never. Me could break. No, I never went to Chelsea. Me could break for 3 years, say 4 years. Pastor, no, it was very bad. It was very bad. And I who break for 3-4 years. And I'm about back.
Atita Nepam one I said then I'll go break.
Oh, as a vega near me, sir. Imra or Benchy Joe Campbell, no. Because John Campbell got ball shot 2 times in a row. Was as a vega, so the Bonnie Rim. And I was like, I can't deal with this coach. And I might be court break. It's I've been back for the past 5-6 years. Yeah.
Mama Queen, as I said, they had the entire Mumrawai. As our supporters, we never give up.
All right. That's it.
All right, then.
Ebuja for Mr. Mamu Refi said, Professor Joe Andor, contact information is in the chat session. It's the good time is for you to get it down. And also, we will put it also on our WhatsApp platforms as well. And also, do not forget to join the HITV family and also the Friends of Startups so that you can have information first. Prof, God bless you. Thank you very much for your time. And I also want to say thank you very much for those who watched us and listened to us from far and near. Those of you in the States, those of you in Canada, those of you in Europe forward, but because of the time difference and still making time out of your busy schedule and still, stretching out your duties to just be part of us. Thank you very much. And those in Ghana, and also those in the Middle East, thank you very much for watching us. We are very grateful. On behalf of the team, I want to say thank you guys and keep supporting Time with Startups right here on HITV. And I'm always going to be your host, PK OFORI-ASENSO. God bless you all. This is where we end the Facebook and YouTube section, but the Zoom still remains. So if you on Facebook on YouTube, please migrate and join us on Zoom so that we can talk about Tap Send Focus, where all your questions and concerns will be answered. Thank you very much. And over to you, Uncle Jimmy.
Okay,
Oh,
Doc.
my dad says, God be with you all. So, because when that's EOY, that's my dad. Senior, Eja, good evening, baby. I was to be out. So God bless you too. Uncle Jimmy,
Right,
over to you.
Doc,
Happy Thanksgiving in advance too.
Same to you,
Thank you.
Doc.